Major and minor chords, they're what we call triads. Triads are merely 3-note chords played on the piano or any chordal instrument for that matter, like a guitar, that kind of thing. All right, so for instance, if you're to play a C major chord between the bottom note, which is the C, and the next note up within the chord is the E, you're going to have 4 half steps, not counting the first one. So you can have 4 half steps between this bottom note and the middle note. So if we start counting from the very next one, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 half steps between the C to the E. And then next, from the E to the G, we have 3 half steps. So not counting, once again, the note you're starting on, you're going to go to the very next note and start counting there. So we go 1, 2, and then 3. So once again, 1, 2, 3 half steps on the top. So what we have is 4 half steps between the C and the E on the bottom, and then we have 3 half steps between the E and the G on the top. So every major chord is built that way. 4 half steps on the bottom, 3 half steps on the top. Let's go to another example. For instance, starting on the key of F. Looking at your F there. All right, we're going to build the chord starting on the F. We're not going to count starting from the F, but the very next one. There's 1, 2, 3. There we go. There's 4. Okay, so there's your 4 half steps between the first and the third note. Okay, call that the third because that's the third of the chord. Okay, and then next we have between the A and the next chordal tone, we're going to have 3 half steps, not counting this one. We always have to start counting there. So we go 1, 2, and 3. All right, so once again, our arrangement is 4 half steps from the bottom to the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from the middle to the top, we have 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3. 4 on the bottom, 3 on the top. And that's your major chord. All right. Next we have the minor chord. The minor chord is a little different because the arrangement of the notes are kind of flip. Instead of having the 4 half steps on the bottom, they're going to be on the top this time. And then the 3 half steps that were on the top are now going to be on the bottom. So we just flip it a little bit. The only difference is you're going to take this middle note, you're going to flat it. Alright, so you're going to bring that center note. Remember, the flat always goes down to the left and on the piano or the keyboard. Alright, so counting from the next note, we have 1, 2, 3 half steps, okay? 1, 2, 3 half steps from the middle to the center of the chord. And from the center to the top, we have 4 half steps, not including the first note there that we're counting from. We want to go to the next one. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that, okay? 3 half steps on the bottom, 4 half steps on the top. And it has a very sad kind of melancholy sort of quality. Okay? Minor chord. There's your minor chord. Okay, so in review, the major has 4 steps, 4 half steps on the bottom, 3 half steps on the top. Okay? And the minor chord has 3 half steps on the bottom, 4 half steps on the top. Now, one last thing we have to do is just to find another minor chord in a different key center. So we're going to start on F again, just like we had with the major chord. This time we're going to play the minor chord. Okay, so if you take a look at it, remember we're not counting on the first note, we're going to the very next one. We go 1, 2, 3 half steps between the bottom and the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps from the middle to the top. Alright, there we go. Okay, so there's your major and minor chords. Next thing we have to talk about is what we call the sus4 chord. In the piece, I had written one particular chord that happens to have a sus4 on it. All right, now this is how you do it.